What's the biggest difference between a BMW and a Mercedes-Benz?
Oh, come on. Can I answer that, please?
What's your answer? I'm curious. Hey, we got a good show lined up for you today.
20 years into the internet for the auto industry.
To me, that's the biggest change of what's going on.
So, Aida, what was your first car?
My first car was a 1997 Nissan Pathfinder. I was in college. My parents, I was on a scholarship in college in Utah. And unfortunately, their budget didn't fit my taste of cars. So I went to my credit union at that time and said, I have $5,000, but the car I want is 10. So how can we figure out the difference? And that was my first financing experience. So I got
very business savvy.
I know what I like.
Very clever, very clever.
Munich born, Munich raised. It had to be a BMW, and it was a 4-year-old BMW 318 when I turned 18 and got my driver's license.
A BMW 318. Can you share what year that was?
1969.
Okay. The answer to my loaded question is the biggest difference is the driver. Very different drivers. Very different. But both phenomenal cars. Aida, you and I met at the Auto Ventures Summit at Driving Sales in 2016, if I recall. At the time, you were doing, I think, marketing and PR with Drive Motors, right? Now you've moved on. I think you had a small stint with Carvoy, and you set up an interview with me and the CEO there just recently at NADA. And then you had an opportunity to join FAIR, and Aida came to the live podcast session we did at the Experian booth just recently at NADA. We got into a deep discussion about KPIs and attribution metrics and whatnot. And then you brought Georg in and made a quick introduction. So, and that led to here, 3 months later, I think.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah. And Georg and I, folks, kind of on a humorous note, discovered we were wearing practically the same shoes, which
we have good fashion taste, right?
Yeah. Now, do you have those shoes on today?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The blue ones, the blue-white ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We touched on this earlier before the call. So we have at FAIR, we have this thing called a FAIR book club, where once a month an employee chooses a book and then we discuss it. And I love that, by the way. That's one of the things I love about FAIR. But aside from that is when we were emailed where here's the book of the month, here's the employee that recommended it, you have these options. You can choose hardcover, audio, or Kindle. And typically I'm very big on hardcover because I love to have the book, I love to take notes, I love the smell of it. But because I'm on the road so much, this time I choose Audible because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to find the time to listen to it. And it's been amazing. So the point is it gives you more options to continue your life and to do what you're doing at a pace that you're used to.
Start with the customer experience and work our way back to the technology. Look at what digital capabilities offer us to create a whole new customer experience. And what do I mean by that? I mean, digital capabilities have been transforming a number of industries that are touching the modern day consumer. Look at entertainment, look at the movies, look at music. You download your favorites, movies or music, anywhere, anytime, all on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
The auto retail sector has not caught up to that.
I think you make a really good point. If I could interject there, Georg, what you were talking about how the music industry has changed. So we don't buy CDs anymore, cassette tapes. Even albums are less of a thing. It's very much about singles and hits. But I pay $15 a month to have iTunes, and I'm an iTunes guy. I don't Spotify. I don't Pandora. I'm an iTunes person.
All of what we have been talking about over the last couple of minutes to both of your points, that's really how FAIR and the big idea around it was created.
Okay.
And using digital capabilities. I mean, FAIR is entirely digital, right? It's literally all on your phone. It's paperless, it's seamless, it's end-to-end. It is as simple as download the app, shop for your car, scan your driver's license, select car, we check availability of the car at the dealership, and sign with your finger on your phone. And you can, the next morning or later during the day, go to the dealer, pick up the car, or get it home delivered. I mean, this is, we strongly believe, this is the way it should be, this is the way it will be, and in the future we will fare our cars, I believe, all on our phones, seamless, endless, fully digital.